GWM, or Great Wall Motors, one of the largest automotive brands in China, has just launched in the Philippines. They're starting with three models: the Haval H6, the Jolion HEV, and the GWM Cannon. Now, I was lucky enough to see these vehicles in person, and I also got to drive the Haval H6 on the track. And I got to drive the Cannon on an off-road trail.
Dahan-dahan. Okay. Right.
Now, I was wondering why our first introduction to the Haval H6 and the Jolion HEV was on the track. But after seeing the specs of the cars, it made more sense. The Haval H6 HEV is a hybrid with a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine and a combined 240 horsepower and 530 Newton-meters of torque. The Jolion has 186 horsepower and 375 Newton-meters of torque. With those numbers, definitely the track would be a good place for a first introduction. Both the Jolion and the H6 come with full ADAS, a 360 camera, a wireless phone charger, and all the tech that you would expect at this price bracket. They both look good on the inside as well. We'll do a full walk around when we get a review unit, which will hopefully happen soon. We first went around the track testing the vehicle's ADAS. The adaptive cruise control worked as well as expected. It also had lane keep assist. And then we tested the car's acceleration and braking.
Go.
With a pedal to the metal, I timed the acceleration from 0 to 80 kph at 7 seconds. Not as quick as I expected, but I'm not sure if we were in sport mode. Anyway, we'll try to do another acceleration run when we do a full review. The H6 uses a direct hybrid transmission, which has a 2-speed gearbox. It kind of felt like a CVT. It felt very smooth, but perhaps not as engaging as the DCTs of its competitors. The good news though is that the car handles very well. It is flat in the corners. There was a bit of oversteer, but it was very predictable and very controllable.
Yes sir, para sa bigat niya, no? Diba? Yun yung torque.
Steering is relatively sharp. It feels very composed on the track.
Very long ride. That's when you see the...
Now, I didn't get to drive the Jolion. I rode shotgun with West Kabongkal of Bearing PH Motoring. But from a passenger's perspective, it felt pretty quick.
Responsiveness, no?
The Cannon is GWM's answer to the Ford Ranger Wildtrak 4x4. It's powered by a 2-liter turbo diesel engine, which puts out 161 horsepower and 400 Newton-meters of torque. Power is sent to the rear wheels via an 8-speed transmission. The top spec model is very well equipped. It has ADAS features like adaptive cruise control, automatic braking, lane keep assist, and a 360 camera. It also has an electric power steering system. It's also the largest pickup in its class, dwarfing even the massive Ford Ranger. We got to test the Cannon on a pretty hardcore off-road track. There were dips, uneven surfaces, very steep inclines, and plenty of mud. The vehicle's rear differential lock definitely helped a lot on uneven surfaces with very loose traction. I think the GWM Cannon is very well priced and definitely worth a look. The interior is one of the best in its class. It's quite a capable off-roader. It's just as high-tech as the Ford Ranger Wildtrak 4x4, and it's priced about 400,000 pesos less. Definitely watch out for my full review where I'm going to talk about the Cannon in more detail. The GWM Cannon has 6 variants. Prices start at 998,000 pesos for the base model. and go all the way up to 1,498,000 pesos for this top-of-the-line 4x4 that we tested. The Jolion has 4 variants, but only the top spec is a hybrid. Prices start at 998,000 pesos and go all the way up to 1,588,000 pesos for the top spec model. The Haval H6 is the priciest of the bunch. It has 2 variants, both of which are hybrids. The top spec sells for 1,883,000 pesos, and the base model sells for 1,788,000 pesos. We'll try to do full reviews of each of these models in the near future. In the meantime, subscribe to be updated. Tapos.